Can you hear the sound? Sing all around. Sing all around. We're waking up, getting ready to support our children to resume school. This is the Back to School Bootcamp, and we're hosting parents, fathers, mothers on this show. Today, we're learning about tips that will help us support our children as they go back to school. You're wondering why I'm so excited, right? Because we have God on our side. Hallelujah. Woo!
Amen.
We're going to do our best to get ourselves ready, get our children ready to resume school, but ultimately we leave them in the hands of God. Oh, 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 oh. Yes, this session is starting in a minute. Okay.
Jaden is on.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Can you unmute yourself and say good morning to the group of parents that are here today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, daddies
Good morning,
and
everyone.
mommies, parents, my friends, my team members,
Good morning.
my loved ones. Hi, everyone. Oh, this is exciting.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Thank you so much. Okay, you can go ahead and mute yourselves. So this is the Back to School Bootcamp. Back to School Bootcamp. And we're here today to talk about tips and strategies that would help equip us as parents to resume support our children as they resume school. Yeah, it feels like we're the ones resuming school, right? Because there is so much on our minds. I mean, I had to go to the shopping mall to, get some face shields, some handy sanitizers, to replenish some pencils and some pencil purses and some, notebooks and folders and so on. Please, can you put on your videos? I want to see your faces. How many of you are really, really understanding what I'm talking about? I mean, the whole back to school fiasco, the going back to school preparations, shopping, payment of school fees. Oh my God. The Lord is our strength. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So today we're talking about how our children will resume school and thrive, making sure that their mental state is okay, ensuring that mentally, emotionally, physically, and otherwise they are ready. They are ready for this academic year. A lot of things have happened. A lot has happened. And some of the things that happened, of course, COVID-19 came with a lot of financial challenges. People lost their jobs. Nikki, wait for me in the sitting room. People lost their jobs, a lot of need for new jobs, there are financial challenges, and there was a lot of anxiety and fear and concerns around our safety and our well-being, right? And this school year has come with a lot of challenges. However, we want to be here for you. And this is the reason why we have Parenting 360, to support parents at a time like this. So a lot of people are wondering if this class, you're gonna need to pay money. It's free. So please, I want you to go back to the WhatsApp group, share the link with a friend, tell them this session is taking place and that they are welcome. They are welcome to join us, to sign in. They just have to touch the link and it will bring them into this Zoom class, okay? So, this session is going to be exciting and interesting because we're going to round it up with our children. What do I mean? We're going to have this conversation. We started at 10:15, right? So we're going to have this conversation until 11 o'clock. And at 11 o'clock, you invite your child to come in and sit with you in front of the camera. We want your cameras to be on. And then you will have a conversation with your child. But before you do that, I will have a conversation with my daughter so that you will watch us do it. Then you and your spouse can sit with your child and have a conversation. You're going to mute your conversation. We don't want to hear what you're saying. We just want to project the questions for you, just to guide you to have that conversation. And if possible, we want to put it on video so that it can be an example for other parents to watch and see what can be done, okay? So that's what we're gonna do for 10 minutes. And after you've had a conversation with your child for 10 minutes, we will come back, you will unmute, and everyone will share their experiences of how the conversation went. Tell us what was most challenging, what lesson did you learn, how much comfort did you provide your child, and how ready do you and your child feel for resuming school on Monday. Okay, so I'm still saying you can share the link with your friends. It's on WhatsApp. Those of you that are on our WhatsApp group, if you go to Facebook, you will find it on my Facebook timeline. So you just touch the link and it will bring you here. So share with your friends. They can join us anytime. So yes, 26 September, it's a Saturday, right? And I have a quote for the day. Children are likely to live up to what you believe of them. So what do you believe of your child? What do you believe of your child? Do you believe that your child is foolish, stupid, slow, unintentional, not intelligent, angry, frustrated? What do you believe of your child? Do you believe that your child is intelligent, is bold, is strong, is patient, is kind, is grateful? If that is what you believe of your child is likely gonna become that. Your child is likely gonna live up to what you believe, because your belief will have impact on your actions. Your belief will have impact on your response to whatever your child does. Your belief will have impact on what you say to your child. When you look at your child, whatever you see your child become is what you will say. This is why God calls us great. This is why God calls us righteous. Even while we are stumbling and falling and rising and struggling with our challenges and even with sin, God looks at us and calls us righteous because it is who we are in Him. Who is your child in God? What do you see in your child? Do you call it forth? Do you speak it? Or do you go about calling your child names? Stupid, slow, never good thing coming out of you. Now, I'm going to just leave this quote there for you to just keep looking at it as we have this conversation. All right, so we're going back to school and there are a lot of guidelines because the COVID-19 is still out there somehow, for some reason, it's still there. So the first thing I want us to tackle is keeping our children safe. How can we keep our children safe? These are things that they have said time and time again. They have been posted on flyers, on posters, on flex banners, on advertisements, on TV, radio. The media has been hyping it, and we have been hearing it from our medical personnel, from the government agencies that are responsible for tackling this pandemic. And even we ourselves have learned some of these things and we're trying to teach our children. So I just want to remind you that we need to teach our children to keep good hand and respiratory hygiene practices. And we know what these details are. Frequent washing of hands. I mean, I remember when COVID-19 started, when we were locked down in Lagos. You guys all know that this thing became very serious in Lagos. Every 10 minutes, I go around the room, washing hand time. Yes, we had a washing hand roster. Every 10 minutes, we would wash our hands. And then after some time, it moved to 30 minutes. After some time, it moved to 1 hour. After some time, we just say, have you washed your hands? But I want you to remind your child that washing of hands is important. I want you to remind your child that as they go back to school, their teachers and the adults around will continue to remind them to wash their hands. I want you to remind your child to adhere to these instructions. I want you to remind your child to make it a habit to wash their hands as they are stepping into the school to keep themselves safe and other children around them. And when they go to the playground and play, they wash their hands before and after they play. And every time they want to eat, they wash their hands before and after they eat. And whenever they want to use the toilet, they wash their hands after they have used any public space. Please, let's not forget that. How about covering a cough or a sneeze with the elbow, or get a tissue paper and use to cough or sneeze into a tissue paper and dispose of it very carefully. And then don't touch your eyes, your mouth, your nose if your hands are not washed. This one is very difficult for our children, very difficult. This is why we will remind them to always use their mask. They should always use their mask, because if they are wearing their mask, their nose and their mouth will be covered. Hello? Hello? Are you all with
Hi.
me?
Yes, ma.
All right. The house was getting too quiet. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, it looks like I'm talking about things we all know, right? But I feel like we need to start from the things we know and the things we want to remember, because some of the things we tell ourselves, we know these things, they are very important, and sometimes we take them for granted, but it's really, really important. Now, you will need to buy some supplies for your child, and the alcohol-based hand sanitizer will be part of them, with at least 60% alcohol. I know that there are a lot of hand sanitizers out there. Hey, God. There are some that when you pour on your hand like this, you'll not be able to breathe. How many of us have that experience?
True.
All sorts of sanitizers. So please be careful of the sanitizer you get for your child, so that instead of protecting them, we don't harm them. with those chemicals, okay? So please get a sanitizer that is not too strong, but we're sure is 60% alcohol based for your child. In Lagos, there are these hand sanitizer holders that they sell. I'm gonna ask my daughter to bring her own so that I'll show you. You can ask around. I know the people in Abuja and just may get it. So you can ask around in shopping malls, they have it. It is so handy, such that there is a rope that you hook onto the zipper of your child's bag or the hand of the child's bag, and then the child can be carrying their backpack and the hand sanitizer is there handy. And if they touch something or someone, they can just pull up the sanitizer, use it and close it back. It's so handy and I like it. Have you seen it? Yeah. Okay, so we have to always wash our hands with soap and running water. So what are some of the supplies we need to get for our children? We need to get them masks. We need to get them those sanitizers we've talked about. I have said we will need to get wipes because sometimes it's easier to use wipes than tissue, especially for our children. So please get wipes. Wipes are pretty not too expensive. There are wipes for 250, 100. There are wipes for 350 or 450. If you get one, I think it can carry your child for almost more than a month. Teach your children to use those wipes, please. This is really important. So for parents that are just joining us, this is the Back to School Bootcamp organized by Parenting 360. And we're here today to talk about how we can better support our children to resume school and be safe and be mentally healthy. Now, this bootcamp is so relevant, so important, and it's close to our dear hearts at Parenting 360 with my team on the Overseas Youth Initiative, because our vision is to support parents and support children so that these children can grow and fully realize their potential. So if a child's life is truncated by a disease or a pandemic because we do not know these things and we do not adhere to these guidelines, it's going to be a loss for us at Overseas Youth Initiative. We do not want any life cut short. We do not want any potential unfulfilled, because our job is to ensure that every child or parents we come across with their children grow into emotionally balanced children, children who are confident and resilient, that grow up to be responsible adults that can give back to the society, building their nation and expanding the kingdom of God. That is our vision. And we hope that this session you will find it as exciting as we find it. So I have just talked about those health and safety tips, the hand and respiratory hygiene practices that we really need to make sure our children practice to adhere to before they leave for school. Remember that anything you tell your child might just go in here and go out there. But the things you tell them and they see you practice and they practice themselves, they are more likely to remember it and practice it. I say that again. You tell them, they see you practicing it, then they also get to practice it in the house with you. That is why for every tip we teach parents, we try to do some role play or practice so that the child can assimilate and understand, and it can become a part of the behavior, because this is a behavior change issue. Now, the next thing we're talking about is the fact that children may respond to stress differently, okay? And our quote, once again, another quote says, children are great imitators. So give them something great to imitate. How many of you like this quote? I love this quote. I love this quote. Do you think this quote is true? What do you think? Do we think it's true? In our experience, it's true. Please put it in the chat room. Or mute yourself and let me hear your voice say it. Do you think it's true that children are great imitators? And so it's important for parents to give them something good to imitate.
Very true.
Very
Very
true.
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 Mr. Comfort,
It's
good
true.
to have you here. Benjamin, Omo, Mapi, my team members. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Toyo C. Hi, Sister Felicia. So good to have you here. And please remember to share the link with your friends. Mapi, good to see you here. Share with your friends the link. Please tell them this session is free. They can still join us. Okay. So, because they may respond to stress. What is going to be stressful? Resuming school is going to be stressful because they have been at home for how long? 5 months? Lagos children have been at home for 5 months, y'all. It's getting to the 6th month. Sitting at home, you know, doing the online thing, but more of sleeping and playing and watching TV and lounging. And now they're going to have to resume rigorous class, a very rigorous class. Please, I want you to know that if the meeting ends, you can use the same link to log back in so that we will round up this session. Is that okay? Is that okay? Does everybody have the link? All right, thank you. So, they may have difficulty sleeping. They may have difficulty sleeping. You might just notice that your child that finds it easy to sleep might be having some difficulty sleeping. For instance, my daughter, since they said school is resuming, she started complaining of chest pain. Yes, yes. In fact, she said, Mom, yesterday night, she said, Mom, it feels weird when I'm breathing. So I was really beginning to get worried. So, but after a lot of talk, observing her to see what is going on, and my husband noticed that it might be anxiety, because anxiety can cause you ulcer, or I don't know, Sister Comfort, how do they say, is it acidic reflux, or what do people call it? Right? Yes, we have a doctor in the house. I almost feel like I should hand this discussion, this slide over to her.
No.
Right? So
Yes.
it was beginning to look like maybe when she remembers, oh, school, and all those uncertainties come up in her mind, you know. So we have had the conversation and we're reinforcing the conversation. But of course, just like all of us, you know, when you have stage fright, Shebi, you know that you're going to be fine, but you still keep having the feeling. Your heart still keeps going, do-do, 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 until the moment you actually get on the stage and you say your first few words, then you become comfortable with the stage. Is that not so? Well, I don't know about you, but that's how it is for me. You know, my mom did a lot of, right? My mom did a lot of public speaking. And when I would watch her, I would be like, do you ever get scared? And she's like, every time. Every time. I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to say something that someone may not like. I'm scared I'm going to say something that someone may challenge me on. I'm scared I'm going to say something that maybe I've not read so much about, and so on. So the fear is always there. However, she notices that once she starts talking, the fear leaves her and the stage is like her home. And I believe strongly that that's how it will be for our children. They may still have those little fears, but by the time they go to school, the first day, the second day, and they are getting a hang of things, they will get used to it. Now, imagine your child walking into the school compound and everything has changed. You know that everything has changed, right? There are suddenly people wearing masks, and some people go to the extent of wearing those white suits. I mean, I've been on some airplanes, and I mean, their hostesses are wearing the white suit. You know, the white suit that CDC uses when they are coming to quarantine you.
Wow.
Yeah, so some of the air hostesses are wearing those white suits, and they wear the face shield, the mask, and they stand so many distance away from you, and whatever you need, they just point you to it. Yes, yes. They're like,
Weird.
Okay, so that alone is scary. That alone is scary. So if your child walks into school and people are fully kitted the way they were not, wearing masks, teachers maybe are tired and frustrated and are screaming and shouting, you, wash your hand, you, come and get measured or tested, or let's see your temperature, this, that. No, slow down, space, distance. Imagine the chaos. And yes, no matter how organized your children's school is, the first day will be chaotic. So this might freak your child out, and they may come back home and begin to have nightmares. They may be anxious, withdrawn, angry, clingy. They just want to hug you after they come back from school. Every minute they're like, oh, mommy, let me hug you. And like, you're 8 years old, for God's sake. Can't you put yourself together? No. Parents, please, for the first 2 or 3 weeks of this resumption, I am calling on you. Extend your children some grace. Extend your children some grace. Please write it in the chat room. I will extend grace to my child. I will extend grace to my child. I will extend grace to my child. Please write it in the chat. If they bedwet, know that it might be as a result of this anxiety and this change of routine and stress. If they have difficulty sleeping, don't scream on them. Talk through the process with them. Understand why they are having difficulty. I'm still waiting, guys. You know how I like engaging you. I will extend grace to my child. Thank you, Comfort. Thank you, Pastor Emma. Thank you, Sister Ruth. Thank you, Omo. I will extend grace to my child. I see a fire tablet. Who is this, please? I will extend grace to my child. Please type your name. I want to know who you are. Benjamin, I will extend grace to my child. Precious Williams, I will extend grace to my child. Thank you so much. Sorry, say that. Is it Pastor Ijoma?
It's not Pastor Ijoma Ibawuchi, you know.
Okay, hi. Good to see you. Thank you. So, please, let's extend grace to our children because they may be responding to stress through exhibiting some of these things, especially the clingy and being afraid of the dark, afraid of the quiet, just want to spend too much time with you. We need to extend grace to them. So how would you respond? How would you respond? Please, Ruth Rampnap. I'm still trying to learn how to pronounce your name, but I know that you are Benjamin's wife. Can you please read the first response for me? What to do? What to do? What does it say? The first bullet point that has my cursor on it. Can you see it? Yes, love.
Yes, I can see it.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it says respond to children's reactions in a supportive way.
Thank you, my love.
Yes.
Thank you, my love. Respond to children's reactions in a supportive way. How do we think we can respond in a supportive way? I mean, mothers and fathers, we know when we're being supportive of our children. What do you think you can say to your child that will really show the child that, oh, mommy is not judging me, but mommy is really supporting me? Sister Comfort, can you help us explain this more? What do you think you can say to your child that will make your child feel your comfort? What will you say to her or him?
Okay, just try as much as possible to encourage her, hug her, tell her, explain to her the things you've done and the things she can actually do to get over the situation.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. You have already preempted some of the things on my next slide. Yes, validate the feelings. It's okay to feel this way. After all, it is an abnormal situation. So it is only normal for you to feel this way. I also felt that way. I mean, try and remember when you went to secondary school, how nervous you felt the first day in school, unsure of so many things. Yes, be supportive. Okay. Pastor MM, please, can you read the second bullet point for us? The second bullet point, what does it say? The one that has my cursor. Pastor MM, are you there? All right, is Pastor MM there? She's not there. Felicia Ando, can you read the second bullet point for us, please? Felicia, hi. All right. Go ahead. Okay, Felicia is not there. All right, Precious Williams, do you want to help us? Read the second bullet point, please. Okay, Felicia is back. Go ahead.
Okay, it's bedwetting.
Okay, no, on the right. We're talking about what to do now as parents. Explain to
Okay,
them.
what to do?